So making that distinction here, we certainly have our market for human beings, and we have our market for the veterinarian side, orthopedics versus veterinarian. And our price points can be different in terms of how we do this.
Well, I think it has to be different, because I think that you know, just like I said, you know, veterinarians can't afford it as much as the humans feel.
Right.
But on the other hand, you know, you guys have to make money too.
Yeah.
You got to pay them.
Yeah, got to pay Okay. Okay, so in summary, can you just overview in terms of your feelings about Vision Scope, and that'll be sort of my last question in terms of what you feel about it, your enthusiasm for it, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I think that it gives a diagnostic modality that's not out there right now, and it fulfills, I think, anytime we can educate people as to what the problems are in their horses, that's going to really help the horses out a lot. It's going to bring them back faster when they can, or slower when they can't, and give them the ample rest that they need to have. I think it's safe, efficient, and hopefully it'll be cost effective. So I think it's great.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for allowing us to come here for this trial. We very much appreciate it, and we will certainly keep you in on the loop. Foremost. One other thing I wanted to ask you, in terms of a rollout on this kind of approach, if we were to go with the commercial route on veterinarian, we, with the orthopedic side, are looking for thought leaders in different areas. How many thought leaders might constitute the large vet practice, would you say? I would presume that, you know, I would count you as a thought leader nationally.
Right. I think that, you know, and I think that where you're going to go, what you need to do is to get it in the hands of some people, and get them started with it, you know, because once you get started with it, then you find out how good it is, and I think that would be important. So the bigger practices, you know, and you can kind of spot those around the country. I belong to a group, the VMG 3, and those practices, which we meet on a regular basis. You know, I can certainly, I'm meeting with them in August, and I can spin that to them and see if I get some literature or something I can talk about it, and see how many practices would be interested in something like that, you know, and to do that. And country is a big country. I think you just need to, that's what we did with VMG, is you kind of say, okay, where are the practices around the United States that are important practices, and then again, put the units in there in some way, and let them use them for a while, because again, that's what you want to be buying, large volumes of disposable. That's where you're really going to make money on.
Sure. And the average, last question here would be the average number of disposables, procedures that you think the average large animal vet might use on a monthly basis?
You know, it's gonna depend on the practitioners. It's the racetrack practitioner. He's gonna do all those. He probably will send fewer arthroscopies, maybe more. You don't know, because he might diagnose them more. So that, but he's gonna do a whole lot more than the guy that's already doing arthroscopy. He's gonna, you know, tend to do more of the arthroscopies, but he will again be appraising those. He'll do more diagnostics with that. So, you know, how many does the average practitioner do? I don't know. You know, it's not. It depends on how big a practice. You know, like Root and Riddle is down in Kentucky. They've got 7 surgeons. You know, and they're busy. You know, they're just really cranking them out. You know? Yeah, we don't do anywhere close to that number of surgeons.
Is it fair to make an estimate, maybe 10 to 20 a month? Is that too high or too low?
I would think it'd be very low for Root and Riddle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think if...
but the average large animal vet, if we were to...
Yeah, well, I would think that the practitioner that's in the field, and that's all he's doing basically, and that he'll still do, I mean, you know, a month he could do 50 a month. I think Root and Riddle could do 50 or more a month, 100 even, you know, it's a possibility. Those big practices. That's the biggest practice in the world.
Yeah, right.
And I don't, you know, best way, I was thinking about that, maybe if I sent him, you know, through you guys, you
Yeah.
know, and I, you know, introduced it and sent
Sure.
him one down there for a while and let him use it and see, you know. I think that's a good thing to do, because I know the surgeons down there.
Sure.
And we could do that, you know, at certain ones around the country. And maybe even, you know, send them one and see if they like it for a while, and then maybe go to the, you know, maybe use that same unit to maybe go to other places too, so that you don't have a huge outlay of that.
Yep, okay. Okay, that sounds good, and then we'll get the same kind of numbers from the small animal vets. The other thing is that the European market, we found, is similar, I'm talking about orthopedic, as the United States market in terms of potential number of procedures. Would you say that might be true also for?
I think even more so because they can't afford to have that $5 million hospital.
Right.
And so there's even, I think that you may find that there's a lot more availability over there.
Okay. And the common names that you know, and I can't say I know them, but Stryker is a name in the market
we use
here.
Stryker, yeah.
Who else are there, bigger players like Stryker?
For arthroscopies?
Yeah.
Well, Dynamics. We got some.
Carl Storrs is there?
Yeah, Storrs. Yeah, Storrs is big, yeah.
Storrs is in Europe.
Yeah, right, stores would be big in Europe, absolutely. Okay, I like those names.
And there's the American Association of Equine Practitioners. It would
Yep.
be a nice presentation
Okay.
to be able to present it there.
Okay,
And I can get, you know, one of our younger associates to write it up. I can present it out there
great.
to them. To do that, obviously we have to have a machine. Eventually, I'd like to get one of the machines. You guys give me a machine,
Right.
and I think that, and I
For
don't want any
Chris-
money.
For Christmas.
Yeah, for Christmas. I don't want any money because that way at the AP they're very strict about
Yeah, yeah. Well, we
saying
are too.
you
We
don't
don't-
want to pay
Yeah.
anybody.